This is, of course, the museum on Main Street. Many of you are familiar with it, right on Main Street at Kingsley in Ann Arbor. And it's inside the museum. They have a beautiful display area, and that's, of course, what we've been privileged to use to show the history of our club. And there's a little plug that we have online to help promote the fact that we are exhibiting and celebrating our centennial. And this, of course, is our famous, I use that term, famous wall that has been developed, which pretty much walks people through from the founding of the club, the chartering in 1921, to present day. And I think it's a great way to help people visualize the broad service that our club provides in the community and how diverse it is. And Bob Conlon, our coordinator of publicity for the club, at least print publicity, was able to design this, and it's very informative, and of course also is displayed at the Kiwanis building in the Kiwanis Center. So if you have a chance, if you haven't looked at it, please do. You'll see a lot of good things there. And that's in the museum. This is interesting, kind of a cross-section of our club, but you can see some old signs from our thrift sales in the past, when we used to sell books for 35 cents. And National Geographic, Help Yourself, 15 cents. And of course, children's books. We have always taken a pride in handling children's books. And you can see the vest that formerly was owned by our club members. It's been replaced, but back in the day, we had our slogan, which was "We Build," and of course, our Kiwanis logo on the aprons that our volunteers would wear. And also in the distance, you'll see a newspaper article from back when our club used to sell the Ann Arbor News. There you go. We used to sell the Ann Arbor News as a fundraiser, and our members would take that special issue and skate, and I do mean skate. We had roller skates back then. We'd roller skate up and down Main Street, selling these newspapers that A, told the story of our club, and B, was able to generate some revenue. People were encouraged to contribute whatever they were comfortable with for this special issue of the Ann Arbor News. That was an early fundraiser of ours. And there's a blow up of the front page, and you can see Jim O'Kane, I think it was Jim. Yeah, Jim O'Kane was our president during this benefit. And Jim was a charter president, a charter member of our club, and was indeed an outstanding service person to Kiwanis and the community. And oh yeah, the little wading pools that you used to see around town. Yes, that was a charitable donation by the Kiwanis Club of Ann Arbor. And we also were in the early stages of the bookmobile, which used to travel from neighborhood to neighborhood, allowing books to be distributed. And then you see a couple pictures at the top of service at Child Life at Mott, and a little bit of the Kiwanis sale going on in the middle picture. And we've always sponsored a Boy Scout troop. And so there's a lot going on that we do in the community that doesn't always get publicized, nor do we wish necessarily publicity, but it's nice just to let the community know how active we are. This is another shot of one of the displays that we have down at the museum on Main Street. And we were able to get from our own stock, I might add, clothing that kind of typifies the different eras of our sale activity. We've been doing the sale since 1927, so we've never missed a year. We survived a depression, we just survived a world war, but the sale went on. And this shows you a cross section of some of the clothing that we're able to sell. In the background, you see Jim Kane with the apron on and the Christmas hat during bell ringing. And he's with one of our volunteers, and they posed to take a little break. And so we took the photographs. And unfortunately, Jim is no longer with us, but when he was a member, he was very active in our club. And the Christmas tree, yeah, it probably came from our stock, but we have better stock than that, I think. Looks like it has an octopus. Okay, and what else? Oh, this is interesting. We set up a mock display case similar to the one that we have at the thrift sale that shows our wares, jewelry primarily. And then you see some of the signage again that came from yesteryear when we were selling all sorts of things for 50 cents and $1. And then on the little shelving unit to the right are all the different electronics that we have dealt with through the years. And I dare say some of them are still there for sale. And of course, a coffee pot has to be included. There's another shot that shows you a little bit more of what we showed in the museum about our club and its history. And this is another placard that we have up down there at the museum on Main Street, and it shows some of the celebrations that we've had in the past. And the one on the right at the top is the vote that was taken back in 1966 as to whether we would purchase our own building. And this was a majority vote. It was unanimous to go ahead and take the risk of buying the Kiwanis, the former Kiwanis Center on Washington at first. And we had a mortgage to make it complete. And it was so rewarding to have this photo taken at such a landmark occasion, especially when everyone is voting in favor. You don't see that much anymore, do you? But we were ambitious. And then we celebrated our 75th anniversary, and I was privileged to chair that. And we received some publicity from the local media, and then also took out an ad of consequence when we celebrated our 50 years of community service. This is a picture of some early presidents of the club. And I think I was trying to see if Sherry Springer's father, yes, Sherry Springer, who was, of course, an active member in our era, his father was a past president of the club, and he's in the back row, extreme right. You can see kind of the resemblance between Sherry and his father. We've had a number of people that have served in the role of presidents following someone else in the family. And of course, the Bardens are the all-time champions with 3 people in their family serving as club presidents. And there's some more recent pictures, including our illustrious president. I think that is a great photo. I'm not sure who took it, but it just really it just typifies our Kiwanis effort at the sale. And we've also had a history of selling war bonds. You'll see that evidenced at the bottom of the placard during, especially during World War II. We were very active in that regard. And this picture on the left is one of my favorites. It shows a lady going through our clothing for sale with a baby strapped on her back, and he or she is taking a nice nap. And that was a photograph that appeared in the Detroit Free Press that I was able to get a master copy of for display. And then the question that always comes up, where does the money go? And this explains it very well. I think most people realize that we funnel it back into the community, but this kind of gives you some specific examples of the community support, the broad breadth of community support that we provide. And of course, we have the little statement at the bottom of how the person reading this can help, especially by being a member. And these are some different photos through the years that are online at the Ann Arbor District Library. It's quite a potpourri of different activities that we've been involved through the years. The top photo in the middle is our donkey baseball team. Yeah, it used to be popular to mount a donkey and play softball. And Steve's laughing in the background. Anyway, the thing that's interesting is Bud Stein's father, Ike Stein, is seated on one of the donkeys, but his feet are on the ground. He was such a long-legged person, he could hardly ride a donkey because his feet were dragging behind. Oh gosh. The middle photo shows, well, it's.
I'll go back.
Okay, well, the middle photo shows when at one point our sale became so large that we had to use annexes to display everything that we had for sale. And that's back when the sale was at the armory, which is on the right in the middle. We were backed up with our truck to unload in the armory. And so anyway, by buying our own building, it allowed us a place to store goods ongoing. And when it came time to display them, we had ample space to do so. That, my friends, was one of the most positive steps forward that our club has made in its 100 years, was to buy our own building. There's another display that is featured there, which is, again, different photographs of us during the years and some of the people that we'd like to recognize for their contributions to the club and the community. And I think this is all great because in picture form, it shows people exactly, what we are up to. And this is a real good thing to have in the community. And we are one of only 5 exhibitors that the museum on Main Street has on an annual basis. So we feel quite privileged in order to be there. Bev, are you there? Would you like to say anything? Not trying to put you on the spot, but if you're still with us, you could speak up. Well, anyway.
Hi, we're here.
There. Tell us what a great display we have down there right now.
It's a wonderful display. The response from the community has been very rewarding and engaging, and we've learned so much about the amazing work that the Kiwanis have done over the years. It's just been an eye-opening experience that we're so thankful to be part of. One of the things that people have really enjoyed is looking through the oversized scrapbook and then sharing the memories of what they remember of their favorite times at a Kiwanis sale. I think one of the days when we met and Harry Cross brought in the signs from the old sale, we knew at that moment that we were going to touch something of the heartstrings of the community that really demonstrated the strength and integrity of the organization that you have. And we're just so grateful to be part of it. We hope if you haven't seen the exhibit that you come down and get a look at it. We had a great turnout over this weekend, and we hope that we continue to have that through the month of February. And if there's anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Bev, this is Alan Berg. Once we're done with our tour, if you could talk a bit about how that building arrived at that site and also how your staff put together this really professional and wonderful display. I know we provided raw resources, but it's really presented in an excellent way.
Oh, Alan, that really warms our hearts because today, on Monday, is actually day when the exhibiting committee meets. And so I'm so happy that not only can I share that information, but they're present to hear it as well. The house that the museum on Main Street occupies was moved here from 1015 Wall Street in 1990. And it was moved here for the purpose of it being a historical museum for the county. The house was built in 1835, 1837, and 1839. Originally by members of the Kellogg family when they came to Ann Arbor from New York State. How we came to put together this exhibit was really a perfect example of the type of synergy that exists within our community. Dale Leslie had been a board member, talked about this anniversary coming up, and we did an exhibit 2 or 3 years ago. It was a collaboration with the Lions and the Rotary and the Kiwanis Club when the Rotary was celebrating their 100th year anniversary. So we were prepared and looking forward to celebrating this centennial with you. The meeting with the Kiwanis, gathering the information, you gave us all the raw material that we needed, plenty of great ideas on how we could create the exhibit. And I think once the clothing and the items from the center arrived and we were able to create the rooms, everything just fell into place. So it's easy to put together an exhibit like this when you start with such a good story, such warm-hearted people, such a valuable community resource, and an organization that just keeps on giving. In the beginning of the meeting, the prayer was especially beautiful and true, and really gave me pause for reflection. These are not the best times that we've lived in, but they are the times that we occupy. And we are just so grateful to have the opportunity to bring such an important message as the centennial celebration of the Ann Arbor Kiwanis to the community in the midst of all this sadness and hard news. We're able to share something beautiful and positive.
Well, thank you. That's a beautiful statement.
Thank you very much.
I speak on behalf of all of us when I say we really appreciate that. This photo, by the way, that's being shown has one of our current members in it. You look at the bell ringers and you go left to right. Second from the left is Clarence Dukes. Yeah, that's Clarence. Still ringing those bells.
That is great. And when
go ahead.
As you have the picture here, part of the display, you'll see it, is the Salvation Army had loaned us a few artifacts to also tell their part of the story. So what we love about the holiday season is it allows us to bring all this joy and all these beautiful memories into the hearts of the community.
And I like to say that one of our past presidents, Gretchen Preston, has talked to me, and she's willing to have one of her buses contributed to a trip down to see the museum from the Kiwanis Center. In other words, everybody's always worried about downtown parking. Well, we could go from the center to the exhibit, maybe stop for lunch somewhere, and head on back. And Gretchen, I tip my hat to you for offering that. It's a very courteous thing to do.
Wow, that is wonderful. And you know, we have free parking at the museum on Main Street in our parking lot. So.
Yes, you do. Okay, I see that Bob Carr has his hand up.
Oh, okay.
I first heard about the Kiwanis Club here soon after we moved here from Boulder, Colorado. And my wife went down and she just thought she needed something to do, so she went down to the library to see if she could do something at the library. And she'd driven trucks in the mountains of Colorado for the Volunteer Fire Department. So she drove the bookmobile. And so I went in, was in the bookmobile and saw it. And so I didn't know anything about the Kiwanis Club for a couple of years after that when I was introduced by Gene Glisson. But always had a warm heart for the bookmobile from Kiwanis.
Right.
Thank you. Alan, do you have another comment? Your hand is still up.
Yeah, one more follow-up. In the display, and this goes to Bev, is that there's a beautiful replica of our story wall. Can you talk about how that came together? That's just an amazing piece.
I am happy to talk about that. I'm going to draw a blank on the name of the graphic designer. Dale, help me if you can.
Oh, Bob Conlon.
Bob Conlon, yes. He was so gracious in resizing the panels that are at the Kiwanis Center to fit the wall at the museum on Main Street. I offered to do it, but he took the time to come in, measure the wall space, had the files resized. And so it was just putting together the puzzle. We took a picture of it when we were on Stabler Road for our first visit. So when the pieces were ready from the printer, it was just a matter of putting them up on the wall in the same way that they were at the center. I think when we first visited the center and our committee saw that, we knew right then and there that was such a beautiful graphic demonstration in a nutshell of anything and everything that people needed to know about the Kiwanis organization. So it was sort of the heartbeat, or I would say the visual center, and the heartbeat of this exhibit and our feeling is the memories, the work that you do every day. And a special thank you again to Harry Cross for those amazing signs as a graphic designer. Steve and I had that same moment when we talked about how wonderful it was to be able to sit at your desktop and create pages with the blink of an eye, but to see these examples of these beautiful hand-lettered signs and to remember all of the history, the number of times we stood in line at the older building downtown to wait to get in. And I will actually have to tell you, one of the most gratifying parts of this exhibit is when people tell us about their favorite Kiwanis find. Almost everybody has a story about the favorite thing they found at a sale. And I'm just going to give you 20 seconds of mine because it was a rubbing that I found that was behind a stack of prints and posters and papers at the downtown building. And when I pulled it out, I knew it was special. When I got it framed, I knew it was even more special. And as I gaze at this beautiful piece every day, because it still sits in the wall of my house, I'm always thankful that there was a place that existed where these treasures can be saved, reclaimed, re-owned, and rebirthed, celebrated by people who never knew the people who donated them. That continuity is what our history and our community is all about. So this exhibit just connects all these dots for us.
That's great. Well, thank you very much. That's a true memory. I might also add that the latest development is that we are going to be displaying banners in our parking lot. Thank you to the building committee who's coordinating that. And some of the same banners that appeared on Main Street during that period of time are going to be now displayed at the Kiwanis Center. So that's an immediate highlight.
That's great.
Hang on. Those signs are going up today.
Oh, good.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Excellent.
you.
Chris Winkler, you have your hand up.
For Bev, does the Ann Arbor Museum on Main Street have any connection with the Smithsonian Institute Museum on Main Street service, exhibition service?
No, they just took our name. They just titled their traveling exhibit program Museum on Main Street without checking with us.
Sounds like the government.
That's okay. I'm going to write them and ask them where our piece of the pie is.
That's a good idea. Bob
Well, I think
Carter,
our time is pretty much concluded. President, I don't know if you feel that way or if we have other.
Well, I see that Bob Carr still has his hand up. Is that
Oh,
another comment?
okay.
Or
Okay.
Bob, do you have another comment? Or are you...
Excuse me.
You just didn't take it down?
That's right. I just
That's fine.
forgot.
Just didn't want to forget you.
Right.
Anybody else have questions or comments?
Well, I'd just like to say that do yourself a favor, gather your friends and neighbors and come down to the museum, and you'll see what we've described here today. And here, this is a great picture of our volunteers that was taken back in 2010. And there's some people that are not with us anymore, but nevertheless, they were memorable as far as volunteers are concerned. So we try to salute them too in our exhibit.
Great picture.
Dale, can you remind us again of the hours, or maybe Bev could do that?
Sure, I'd be happy to. The museum is open Saturday and Sunday from 12 to 4, but we're also open by appointment. So if there's a day or a time that might fit your schedule a little better, just give us a call or email, and we'll be happy to make arrangements.
Thank you.
It's very
Yes.
generous. Harry Cross, you had your hand up. Did you have a comment?
No, it was just to ask the hours.
Okay, thank you.
Bev,
Claire?
how long does the exhibit stay there then?
It stays up through February 20th, 2022. And what we try
Oh.
to do is seasonalize it a little bit. So we've added a little Christmas touch for December. And then because we know that you sell things that help celebrate the holidays, we'll do a little Valentine's front room display. So we're going to try to mirror through the life of the exhibit what you are promoting at the center for the sale.
Amen
you
and
very
Merry
much.
Christmas.
Yes, yes, to you too.
We have a comment by Claire.
I just wanted to, am I unmuted? Yeah, I'm okay. I just wanted to say this program made me feel happy. I laughed, I smiled, I could have cried a few times. Bev, you have done a spectacular job of showing local history, our history, connecting it to the world. Thank you for what you are doing for Kiwanis and the entire committee. Everyone has obviously spent hours and hours and hours highlighting what we do, but I'm telling you, this is a fabulous program, and I'm going to tell some of my friends who don't come to Kiwanis, who aren't Kiwanians, to go online and watch this because they need to see it.
Oh, Claire, thank you so much. Our committee truly appreciates it. We work so hard to make these exhibits interesting, and it just warms our heart to hear that that's how you feel. Thank you so much.
I think that's from all of us. Max,
Thank
you have
you.
a comment?
Well, my comment would be very similar to that. I have visited the museum and saw the exhibit, and the work that Bev and her crew have put in there, it just really made it outstanding. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh my God, thank you.
What more can anyone say than that, huh?
That's right. That's
Gosh.
fantastic.
Oh,
Okay,
you guys, thank you so much. And thank you for having me as a guest today.
well, thank you. We appreciate you
Alrighty.
being here and really enjoyed seeing all the pictures and so on.
Mhm.
Thank you
Great,
so
great. I hope
much.
everybody has a wonderful week.
Thank you. And a
Bye.
good holiday.
This program be posted on our website, this program including what we've just done here. So if members of your committee want to come back to our website, it'll be up to eventually for everyone to look at.
That is wonderful. I'm gonna go back and we'll take a look at it ourselves. We'll link it to our website.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. Mhm.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
holiday. Bye. Okay. Could we do the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.